Welcome to The Explainer. I am so incredibly excited to have you here today because look, today we're going to completely demystify the 2026 Kathmandu flooring market. We're taking all that scattered data, those wildly confusing quotes, the giant stacks of brochures, and we're breaking it down right here. Our goal? Making sure you can make the absolute best choice for your space.
If you have ever embarked on a building or renovation project here in Nepal, you know exactly how stressful this one simple question can be. You walk into a showroom in Kathmandu, and literally every single salesperson looks you dead in the eye and promises their material is definitively the best. But well, best is entirely subjective, isn't it? What's best for a luxury hotel lobby is definitely not what's best for a landlord who's just trying to quickly flip a rental apartment.
Which brings us to the real headache, right? The market right now is just totally flooded. There are simply too many materials, too many conflicting prices, and honestly, way too much noise. You're constantly left wondering, which one of these actually fits my room, my lifestyle, and most importantly, my budget? Well, that's exactly what this explainer is going to solve for you. We're going to cut straight through all that noise with real, current market prices per square foot. No more guessing games.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today's matchmaker. First, the Kathmandu flooring dilemma. Then, SPC and LVT options. After that, we'll look at Parquet and its classic wood finishes, followed by Epoxy's commercial power. And finally, we will find your ultimate flooring match.
All right, starting with part 1, the Kathmandu flooring dilemma.
You know, choosing a flooring material here requires a very specific set of criteria. You can't just pick something out of a glossy European catalog and expect it to behave the exact same way. Kathmandu throws some incredibly unique challenges at our homes. We've got those super humid, wet monsoons where moisture just seeps into literally everything, not to mention the inevitable monsoon mud that gets trapped inside, and then we transition straight into dry, incredibly dusty winters. Add fluctuating budgets to the mix, and we really need flooring that can tackle all of this head-on.
Moving on to part 2, SPC and LVT options.
So, our first synthetic contestant in the flooring matchmaker is SPC, which stands for Stone Plastic Composite. This is currently one of the most searched flooring types in Kathmandu, and honestly, it's pretty easy to see why. Its absolute superpower is its 100% waterproof and scratch-resistant core. Because it's completely waterproof, it holds up beautifully in that crazy humid monsoon weather we just talked about. And it's totally safe for wet areas like kitchens and bathrooms. No more mini heart attacks when someone drops a glass of water on the floor.
Now check out this stark price difference between the two main types of SPC. We have the 5mm coming in at 240 Nepalese rupees per square foot, and the 7mm jumping all the way up to 500 rupees. You might be thinking, why on earth would I pay more than double just for 2 extra millimeters? Actually, scratch that. It's not just about thickness. That 7mm option gives you significantly better sound insulation, so you don't hear that annoying hollow clicking sound when you walk across it in hard shoes. It also just provides a much sturdier feel underfoot. The takeaway? If you're on a tight budget, the 5mm gives you that solid waterproof performance. But if your budget allows and you're putting this in a high-traffic living room, that 7mm is absolutely worth the steep price jump for the long-term durability.
Okay, let's pivot to our second synthetic contestant, luxury vinyl tiles, or LVT. At 210 rupees per square foot, this is your budget-friendly hero. If you want the look of wood, marble, or stone without the high maintenance, this is it. It's incredibly lightweight, which means it goes down fast. So, if you're a landlord searching for cheap but fantastic-looking flooring to quickly flip a rental apartment, or you're just redoing a bedroom on a strict budget, LVT is undeniably your answer.
Next up, part 3, Parquet, classic wood finishes.
Because, let's be real, for a lot of us, absolutely nothing beats that warm, elegant, wood-like finish of classic Parquet. You want that premium look, but you definitely don't want the astronomical price tag of solid wood. Parquet gives us tons of variety, so let's contrast 2 specific finishes right now. On one side, we have the 12mm glossy finish at 235 rupees per square foot. On the other, the 8mm matte finish at 150 rupees. This perfectly illustrates how you can match the exact vibe and price to your specific room. Designing a grand reception area and want that shiny high-end reflection? Go glossy. Want a subtle, modern, understated look for a bedroom? Go matte and save yourself a massive amount of money at the same time.
But hold on, there are 2 more Parquet options you need to consider. There's the texture finish, a 12mm board coming in at 245 rupees. This one's for the purists. It physically mimics the grain of real wood, giving you a highly natural, super cozy feel underfoot. And then We have the 3D finish in an 8mm board. This one is specifically designed for budget-friendly styling, for folks who want that classic wood look without a big spend. Which brings us to a pretty wild number.
145 Nepalese rupees per square foot. This is literally the absolute cheapest option on the market we've covered today. That is the price for the 8mm 3D parquet. If you are a highly budget-conscious buyer who still wants a really stylish floor, this is your baseline. It's affordable, it looks great, and it absolutely gets the job done.
All right, part 4, epoxy, heavy-duty, commercial power.
So far, we've focused mostly on cozy homes. Now, let's shift gears into hard-working industrial spaces. Epoxy is the commercial powerhouse. Coming in at 210 rupees per square foot, it has some serious superpowers. First off, it is incredibly durable for heavy loads. Like, you can drive cars and forklifts right over it. Second, and this is crucial for those dusty Kathmandu winters we mentioned, it is completely seamless. There are zero cracks or joints for dust to settle into, making it ridiculously easy to clean. It's also chemical and stain resistant, so if you're outfitting a dusty garage, a commercial showroom, a warehouse, or a factory, Epoxy's tough, seamless finish makes it, without a doubt, the most practical choice out there.
Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, your ultimate flooring match.
We've looked at all the data, all the features, now it's time to bring the whole shebang together. Honestly, I highly advise you to pull out your phone and screenshot this decision matrix right now. It is your ultimate cheat sheet. If your primary need is waterproof durability for a home, especially a kitchen, your match is SPC Flooring. Need a budget-friendly, stylish floor for a rental? Go with LVT. Want a premium warm living room? Glossy or textured parquet is your match. Need the absolute lowest cost wood style? 3D parquet is the winner. And for a garage or commercial space, epoxy takes the crown. This matrix cuts right through all the sales pitches and lets you answer your specific questions instantly based on real 2026 market data. You know, there is an incredibly empowering feeling that comes from being an informed buyer. You no longer have to rely on someone just telling you what's best. You now know exactly what materials match your specific needs, your environment, and your wallet. So I'll leave you with this question to ponder as you start planning. Armed with all this real-world data, which flooring are you going to install in your next Kathmandu project? Thank you so much for exploring this with me today on The Explainer, and hey, happy building!